All right, welcome to Talkin' Investing. I am Tom, and as always, this is not financial advice. Today, I want to talk about Cleanspark, stock ticker CLSK. They are a Bitcoin mining company. I want to go through their financial statements and through what management's commentary was, and I want to talk about Cleanspark, and I'm going to talk about a couple of things that I am pretty sure you are not going to hear anybody else talk about at all. So if you're new to the channel, please remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Also, if everybody could smash the like button, I would appreciate it. Lastly, if you want to support the channel, you can become a member. It's only $5 a month. You can hit the join button, and that's right next to the subscribe button on the YouTube page. If you don't see the button, there should be a link below. Members get some members only content. We do a members only live stream once a week every Tuesday afternoon, and the members also get to pick a video for me to do a deep dive on once a week. So we'd love to see you there. I want to talk about Cleanspark. Today is a very down day in Bitcoin. A lot of the Bitcoin miners are hitting their 52-week lows or their all-time lows, but Cleanspark is performing worse than all the Bitcoin miners today. It is now down 17%, and they just put out what I consider an incredibly impressive report. Since they became a Bitcoin miner, which was about 2 years ago, this is their absolute all-time low today. This puts their market cap somewhere around $120 million. So I want to talk about a few things real quick. So because September 30th is their year end, this is a year-end financial statement. It is a 10K, not a 10Q. So this is a fully audited financial statement. So what I'm looking at here is the report of the independent registered public accounting firm. The financial statements present fairly in all material respects the financial position of the company as of September 30th, 2022 and 2021. And the reason that I bring this up is more than half of the Bitcoin mining companies, when they get their annual report this year, when they do their 10K, their auditor's report is not going to look like this. It is going to contain an additional paragraph, and that paragraph is going to be called a going concern. And essentially what a going concern is, that is a paragraph where the auditors say, listen, we have reasonable doubt that this company can survive for the next 12 months. Significant number of these companies are at risk. They don't have the cash or liquidity that they need. So Cleanspark is not in that position. They have an unqualified clean report. And I just think that's worth mentioning. So obviously that doesn't mean that they cannot go out of business in the next 12 months, right? Depending on management's decisions, things could go wrong and they could go out of business. But what the auditors are saying is right now, there's no reasonable expectation that you would think that they would be going out of business in the next 12 months. So that's a pretty low threshold, but a lot of the Bitcoin miners don't even meet that threshold. So I wanted to start out by talking about that. If I go to the cash flows from financing activities, you're going to see proceeds from equity offerings. Now, one of the things that people get disturbed about is they have issued some stock, they have diluted their stock. Now, they did do a bunch of dilution. We're going to get to their growth because I think that their growth more than justifies their dilution. They grew significantly more than they diluted their stock. But that's not even what I'm here to look at. What I want to show you is that proceeds from equity offerings, so this is money that they made from issuing stock this year, and almost all of this was actually in the fourth quarter, was $125 million. So they got $125 million in cash in the door this year in equity. That is more than their current market cap of their company is. So to me, that is a part of my line of reasoning where it just does not make sense where this company's valuation is. It's hard to imagine a company that just brought in $125 million being worth less than $125 million in total as a market cap. And it's not like they did frivolous things with that. They have significantly grown. They tripled their exahash this year. They have beaten every expectation. They raised their guidance for growth 3 times this year. So I want to show you one more thing in their financial statements. Total stockholders' equity, $404 million. So again, the market cap of this company is $125 million, and shareholders' equity is over $400 million. So this is trading, just over 25% of book value. So this isn't even one-to-one. Most companies trade at a multiple of their book value. This is trading at almost a quarter of its book value. And this is not financial advice, so I'm not telling you for a fact that this stock is going to go up because obviously I don't know that and nobody knows that. But I'm showing you some key indicators that are highly unusual in my opinion, and they tend to indicate that this stock is underpriced. While we're on the balance sheet, let's let's take a look. They have $50 million in current assets. They have $34 million in current liabilities. They have more than a 1-to-1 current ratio. You'd like to see that even higher, but there are plenty of these companies that have less current liabilities than current assets. So they're in a position to pay their bills. But more importantly than that, their total liabilities are only $48.6 million. So they only have another $13 million in debt in total in this company. So their total liabilities of $48 million is less than their current liabilities of over $50 million. So when you look at it from that perspective, to me, this is a company that has solid liquidity, and their total assets are $452 million versus total liabilities of $48 million. So, that's coming up on a 10-to-1 ratio, assets to liabilities. So very, very strong balance sheet. They have almost $131 million of revenue on $41 million of direct costs. Now, obviously, they have overhead costs and other things, but what I wanted to do is show you a schedule that I keep. This is their monthly and quarterly production, and from this, I use the financial statements to determine the cost per Bitcoin. So I just want to show you, here's the 4 quarters of 2022, of the year ended 9/30/2022. That's their fiscal year end. So we just looked at those on the income statement, so we know those tie out to the audited financial statements. So if I go down and do the analysis, if I look at their cost per Bitcoin by quarter, you're going to see they have continued to decrease their cost. And this last quarter was a grand slam home run. So Q1, they were at about 13.3. Q2, they were at about 13.4, so almost even. Q3, which was the period ended June 30th, they had a nice drop down to 10,727. That made them among the leaders in cheapest Bitcoin mining cost. And now in the fourth quarter, they're at $8,124. So remember, we just tied those numbers back to the financial statements. So that's the actual cost per the financial statements. So this is going to be among the lowest costs out of all the Bitcoin miners. Whether they're in first place or not, this is going to be very competitive for the lowest cost. Obviously, Bitcoin, even at its lows, was almost double this price. So there is margin left over. And as Bitcoin gets healthier, this company will make more and more money. So you can see this is Bitcoin mined by month. The end of the year, the financial statements we just looked at included through September, this 448. Well, you can see in October and November, they beat that. 448 was their all-time record. They went to 532, 535. In December, I expect them to beat that again because they are now at 5.8 exahash. So as of their November update, November 30th, they were at 5.5 exahash, which was their year-end target rate. And that's after they had already raised their year-end target rate several times. They're now past that. As of the middle of December, they're now at 5.8 exahash. So they were mining a peak of 21.7 Bitcoin per day. So I think you're going to see them handily beat their November numbers and set their all-time record again for Bitcoin mined. Okay, so here's the press release they put out with their fourth quarter report. And you can see current hash rate surpasses 5.8 exahash and daily mining high reaches 21.7 Bitcoin. So those are both records. Those are both way past anything they had talked about getting to this year. So this is the one company that overperformed. So remember, they did do some dilution, but this is what they got in return for it. They mined the second most Bitcoin in November out of all the Bitcoin mining publicly traded companies in North America. So I track 18. There's more than that. There's 25 or 30 of these. The only company that mined more than them was Core Scientific. CleanSpark is mining more than Marathon. CleanSpark is mining more Bitcoin than Riot. CleanSpark's mining more Bitcoin than all the other Bitcoin miners except for Cores. And they're likely to stay very competitive for that second place spot for the next several months and potentially over the next year. And I would expect them to be in the top 3 or 4 or 5 at the worst by the end of the year next year. So they're about a quarter of the market cap of the 2 other companies that are in their range as far as amount of exahash and the amount of Bitcoin that they're mining. And again, they're mining more Bitcoin than both of those companies, but yet those companies are worth 4 or 5 times as much as a market cap. Okay, so this is CleanSpark on the daily time frame. I just want to go to their chart and show you what's going on here because this stock really has been beaten up badly. And you can see today there's a gigantic gap down. Again, at this point, we're 16 or 17% down on the day. That is a new all-time low since they started mining Bitcoin. Their previous low was back when Bitcoin flash crashed in June. They got down to $3.73. So at that point, that was a drastic pullback. They were down over 90% at that point. They're now down approximately another 50% from that, which was their previous low on the summer flash crash. So again, Bitcoin is about $2,000 higher than its low from last month. CleanSpark's hitting its new low today, and it's actually crushing its new low. It's down 17%. So this is the first time it's been under $2. Okay, so this is CleanSpark on the 1 week time frame, and I just wanted to show you, even from their November highs, which was just over 1 year ago, November 2021, they are down over 91%, and their November highs were not their all-time highs. They were trading at around $23 at that point. You're going to see earlier in the year, they were trading up at $42. So this stock was already down significantly by the time it reached its November highs. It's down 90+% since then. So you can see, in my opinion, this is a very overbeaten down stock. Now, all the Bitcoin miners are at or near their lows, so it's not necessarily out of the order with all the other Bitcoin miners, but to me, from an operational standpoint, CleanSpark, in my opinion, was one of the best performers all year long. So to be one of the best performers operationally, we looked at their balance sheet, which is strong, and yet their stock is performing awfully, and it's at its all-time low right now. So we'll see where it goes from here. There is no support underneath this. It's broken its all-time lows. So I don't know what the downside risk is on this. Obviously, it can always get lower, but I like this company. This is not financial advice. I'm not telling you to buy this company or sell this company, but I will tell you this is one of the positions that I have, and I do like this company, and I'm quite surprised that they're getting beaten up badly on this earnings report. So I could do an entire another video. I'm gonna have to end this right now because it's already running long. So if you made it this far, please remember to subscribe to the channel and smash the like button. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.